going to show you today how to use your background to make it larger and to make it smaller, to give you more options with your cards. We're going to be using the Australian background to do that. Oops. Also, I'm going to use the trailing ivy, and that'll help hide some of those seams that we'll be doing. I'm going to use the leaves from the blushing rose as accents. And the delicate garden frame, we're using the little butterfly. And the perfect peony complete petal will make a beautiful flower and accent our card with that. Right, so starting out, we're going to use the Australian background, and I'm just going to cut it with the outer ring. It's done in several sections here, so we will do one more. Center that as nice as I can. Pop that onto our platinum machine and put our cutting plate over the edge. There we go. Okay. So now to make this larger area, what I've done is I've cut one ahead of time and I've just used part of that, and we're going to show you how you can use the outside edge here, doing a little bit of cutting, and we will pop that into our cutter and do it, let's see, right about here. Let me just line that up. There we go. I'm going to use the larger section, and you can keep this smaller section, use it for borders and things. So I just want to make it a little bit bigger, and the reason I didn't cut it so it's centered is I want to have a little bit of an offset to hide it. I think it's a nicer place to hide your seams. So we'll just pop this down there. Bit of tape on the back. Just tape it back together. There we go. One down the center, and you can put some more up on the top. And then if you're off a little bit from lining them up, just put it back into the paper cutter and trim the edges. So I've gone ahead and backed it with some iris card. So now you can see I've got a little bit larger of an area for my background. Okay, so that's sorted and ready to go. So the next thing is I've gone ahead and cut the background again, as is, using the outer piece and then the inner section. I want to use the center part here to cut it into a frame. So I've already glued it into place with the backing because that just makes it a nice, tidy, neat cut. Pop this down with a little bit of tape. Let me get another piece here. There we go. Put that into our platinum. Let me get all my little bits off of there. There we go. And run that through. Okay, so now I've got a piece that's really nicely, neatly cut, but I want to make that a little bit smaller. So I'm going to bring my paper cutter back over. And I think right about, let's see, it looks like it needs to be right about here. Pop that down and we'll cut the first side. There we go. And then I want to center this up and cut the same spot. There we go. So we've taken a little bit out of the center of this one. Same thing, we will put it back together with some tape. Line it up. Get it as flush as you can there. A little bit of tape in place. So I have a smaller bit that I can use. Now there's seams on these that we'll have to worry about. I've gone ahead and done another one ahead of time, put some mounting foam on the back. We're going to center that over our sentiment. So I'll peel this off. And we've got a beautiful birthday sentiment here. I'm just going to center that right over that. There we go. Put that into the center of our card. So let's use a bit of tape for that. Get it nice and secure. And there we go. Lean in. Okay, so you still have a little bit of a line showing here, 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 and here. So what we're going to do is kind of disguise that with our floral elements. So I'm going to go ahead, I've done some of the Perfect Peony flowers, so I'm going to pop a couple of these into place. Got a larger one here. I'm going to seat this right about like that off to the side. And I've done a smaller one. Put that down right below it a little bit. And another one I've done opposite. And I've just used a little bit of shaded lilac on the edges of these. Okay, oops. There we go. So now let's bring in our glue. And we're going to do a little bit of accenting. I'm going to add in some ivy here. Let's see where about that needs to be is right about like that. So I'm going to take off a tiny bit off the end of it. A little bit of glue on that. And we can just make it trail down to hide that seam really nicely, I think. Like that. Bring another piece up and we'll kind of work this one into a couple of different pieces. Let's try that. And I think that might just need a little nipping. Put some glue on the back of that. Maybe up here. Right underneath the edge of the flower. And we can pop that right into place and that will sort of hide a little bit of that seam. And there's a tiny bit more, so I'll use the tip of this. We'll tidy up our cut line. You can use the ivies and the floral elements so nicely for this sort of thing, and it just will hide everything so beautifully. So we'll pop that right up like that. You don't even notice that there's a cut line there. But I want to put a few little leaves around just to sort of add to the floral element. So we've cut the blushing rose. And we'll pop a couple here and there. There we go. And let's put one up here by our other flower. I think that'll be nice. Okay, tiny bit there. Now, I've cut 3 of the little butterflies from the delicate garden frame. And what I've done is taken a little bit of spray glue and sugared them. Get them nice and sticky. First thing I want to do is add on a couple of pearls in the body. So we'll get 3 little 3mm pearls here. Put them on first. Okay. Bring over our diamond snow. And I think we can just center those and pop the edges right underneath that. So I've got a nice, pretty, glittery butterfly, and we're going to use those to help disguise some of our seams as well. So we'll put a little bit of glue on here. And I like to keep the wings so they're upward, so I'm going to give it a little tiny light press there. And we'll put one down here. That'll cover that. And just another one because I think 3 is pretty. And we'll pop that up into the corner there. There we go. So you can add a little bit more foliage around that if you like, but what's nice about that is it gives the card a beautiful continuity and you don't tend to notice the seams in it, so you can make your dies do a lot more for you. I hope you've enjoyed the card. You know, I have a daily blog at www.partycraft.blogspot.com, and you can look for all of our videos on our Creative Expressions YouTube channel as well.